left, the observation I made that a lot of it was obvious is that the same guys are running it now that ran it under Mubarak, but Mubarak went out of favor, and they figured we'll get rid of the figurehead leader, and then we'll still have the money and the power and the fast cars and the women, the whole deal. And so not much seems to have changed, except you lost a figurehead who I don't know what the status of his trial is, but it seems like he's allegedly on death's door, and they can never actually they're just waiting out until I guess he dies of natural causes. So it doesn't seem like you've accomplished much, and I guess that's the feeling, and that's why folks are back in Tahrir Square. So what do you think? Do you think it's going to be till July before a civilian government is installed? Do you think they'll ever, in the short term, have a civilian government, or do you think this is all just a scam?
Yeah, I think that by July there will be a civilian government. There is something called Tahrir Square. We can get down to that million and 2 million, even 6 million, as you saw that at 25 January. I think that it's gonna be a civilian government by uh, by next July, and you see that at the uh, Marshal Tantawidu saying that in his speech about that. But I'm gonna blame on the U.S. government that last week, uh, last week there were clashes between our cops and the our cops and the protesters there in Tahrir Square. I'm gonna blame on them exporting tear gas and nervous gas to us. We saw the tear gas made in USA. The President Obama about the uprisings were in Egypt at 28 January 2011 said that I want to be very clear in calling upon the Egyptian authorities to refrain from any violence against these protesters. The people of Egypt have rights that are universal. That includes the right to peaceful assembly and association, the right to free speech, and the ability to determine their own destiny. These are human rights, and the United States will stand up for them everywhere. Is that standing up with us here in Egypt, exporting to our cops the tear gas and nervous gas that have side effects on our bodies? Yeah, I'm gonna blame that on the government, on the U.S. government for that.
I would clarify that I think that they, not as an excuse, but I don't think I mean, I think that was all purchased. I'm assuming purchased prior to the Arab Spring Revolution, and I mean, we can argue about the pros and cons of it, and it doesn't obviously in retrospect seem like such a hot idea. But I've seen that picture of the guy holding up the can made in the USA, and obviously, as you have freedom, folks searching for freedom in Egypt, trying to get rights similar to what we have in the United States, and they're holding up a can showing that the people putting them down are using, made in the USA products. But I don't know enough about when they were sent over there, if they were overtly or covertly delivered there or what. But I would imagine we straight up sent them, and we've lost him, I think. Okay, well, all right, we'll move on. And like I said, the internet's spotty over there. But he was making the point, his connection is bad, but he was making the point that the tear gas being used against the protesters is made in the United States. At least the label says that on some of the stuff, and obviously that's, in retrospect, embarrassing. And a whole topic for a different program. But what I want to do, I want to get back to Google Plus Week, which is why we're actually here. I appreciate you, my fellow tech